Welcome back, second graders. Thank you for joining me. Yesterday you were working on perimeter, or maybe you did it earlier today. I don't know what your schedule is. It's totally up to you. But let's say you were working on perimeter, so we were getting a fence for our garden. And let's say my garden is 3 feet by 5 feet. Okay. Well, yesterday we were working on the fence. Okay. But now I want to actually get some dirt, some good soil, like we did for our garden, right? Some good soil that's not as sandy and clay filled and rock filled as some of our dirt outside. So we're going to go buy some soil, but I need to figure out how much to get. And when you go to buy some soil, they're going to say, well, how many square feet do you need to cover? Square feet? What are you talking about? Does that mean I have feet that are in the shape of a square? That sounds weird to me. This is what they're talking about, okay? Here are our feet. Well, that means we have 3 feet this way. 1 foot, there's 1 foot. 2 feet, 3 feet. So we have 3 feet going this way, and we have 5 feet going this way. 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, and then this edge over here is the 5th foot. So each of these little sections is a foot, okay? Well, if you take those all the way across and divide it up, so there's this one going 3 this way and going 5 this way. Do you see what shape they're making? A square. And if I had drawn it perfectly and measured it perfectly, they would be a perfect square. So this would be 1 foot on each side of each of these squares. We call that a square foot, because what we're talking about is not just when we measure, a lot of times we're measuring the length, like for the sides, we were just measuring how long it is. But now we're trying to cover up an area, a space. And this is called area. We're figuring out the area we need to cover, the space we need to cover. We're not just figuring out how long something is. So one of the ways to do that is to break it into these squares and say, well, this is 1 square foot I need to cover, 2 square feet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I need to get 15 square feet of soil that'll cover 15 square feet, okay? Well, check this out. What is 3 times 5? Remember when we were making our arrays? This is an array, right? Here's a row of 5, a row of 5, a row of 5, 5, 5, 5. What do we call it when we are adding the same number over and over again? 5 plus 5 plus 5. Multiplication, right? We've got 3 rows of 5. What is 3 times 5? 15. So when you're figuring out area, you're going to be using multiplication. That's a fast way to figure out area. Well, I know it's 3 feet this way, 5 feet this way. Multiply them together and you're going to get all these squares. 15 square feet, okay? So I need 15 square feet. What I would like you to do today is practice area, finding the area of a space, okay? And I want you to practice, so again, you can get your ruler, so this will also practice your measurement. And maybe this time you want to do it in centimeters. Challenge yourself. Use the centimeters on this side. So let's say, it's your choice. So maybe it'll be a little teeny tiny one. So I'll do, how about 8 centimeters this way and 10 centimeters this way. So this is 10 centimeters, cm. Can you read that? That's kind of small. Let me make it bigger. 10 centimeters on that side, 8 centimeters on this side. So that means this is going to be, oops, look at that crazy line. That'll be 10 as well, and this will be 8. Well, what is, if I divide it up into my squares, what is 8 times 10? Yeah, we just add a 0, right? 8 times 10 equals 80. So I'm going to need 80 square centimeters. You might see a little, oh, you can't see that. They'll put a little 2 up here. That means you squared it, okay? So That means it's the squares, it's not just the length. I'm not just gonna get 80 centimeters of rope, okay? I'm getting squares of something, okay? And so it might be, I had to do this when I got a big rug for our classroom. I had to figure out, it's called an area rug because it takes up so much space. So my rug, let's say I'm gonna use inches this time. I'll say it was 6 inches, but we'll pretend each inch is a foot maybe, okay? By 8 inches, okay? 6 inches by 8 inches. What would be the area of this little rug? Can you guys figure that out? What's the area of that rug? And if you want to, try to go ahead and make the squares. Just here's a little hint. When you're making the squares, I don't want to make 6 lines because that'll actually make too many squares. This is what I mean. Because one of the lines is going to be the edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm actually only going to make 5 lines in order to make 6 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a little hint. And then this one, if it's 8 inches, I'll make 7 lines in order to make 8 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if you count up all those squares, 6 times 8, if you don't have that memorized, you can count up the squares, equals 48. So that'd be 48 square inches, okay? I want you to make some of your own on your whiteboard. Figure out how many inches you want to make it down and across. Make some rectangles and figure out the area of that rectangle. All right, see you soon.